What's up with y'all, man? It's your boy David. We're back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to Signify's B-Sides. Kevin Hart is a symptom, bro. We starting off. This nigga Kevin Hart is a symptom of a disease. The nigga's a virus. Lad nigga, you are virus. Shit crazy, man. But with that being said, make sure you like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I always like watching a good FD Signifier video. He just has so much to say on like pop culture stuff, especially when it relates to black people. Man, it's just always a good watch, no cap. Let's see what he has to say about Kevin Hart being a symptom.
Dave Chappelle is a sellout. Kevin Hart hosts an interracial Klan rally, and even principled communist filmmaker.
I mean, we low-key been known Dave Chappelle was low-key a sellout. I ain't gonna lie. It's alright though.
Are taking money from Zionists. You're gonna think I'm joking, but this is low-key Barack Obama's fault. Again.
Wait, I want to know, what did Barack do though? That's the real question. What did Barack actually do?
Weird thing that has happened or is happening in the last decade when it comes to black media. It stopped being exclusively black. What I mean here is something I mentioned in the Tyler Perry movie. Yes, by the way, I do remember I was supposed to do like a full tier list by now.
Hold on, cause somebody's screaming at me. I'm getting ready to choke the hell out of her. Hold on.
I kind of forgot, y'all. My bad. I got other things going on. This is what it is. I maybe by the end of the summer we'll see. But once upon a time, black movies, black shows, etc. were almost explicitly marketed to black people. I grew up in the era of Martin, A Different World, Living Single, the short-lived South Central, Moesha, In the House, and so much more on TV. And it was an even more prolific era for black film with classics like House Party, Love and Basketball, Higher Learning, Coming to America.
I've warned you. I'll be forced to thrash you.
Fuck you!
Freeze, you diseased rhinoceros pizzle.
The entire East to West Coast.
I watched that movie. I don't remember that part of that movie. Like, what the fuck? It's alright, I ain't gonna lie, my memory shit. I watched that movie. I watched it like once, and I don't remember that part. That's crazy.
Hood life drama like that happened.
But I ain't gonna lie, he pulled out that knife smooth than a bitch. Hold on, let's go back. Hold on, he put that hoe out smooth as fuck. Even though he lucky got dropped, that nigga said, hold on. Right, he pulled that hoe out smooth than a bitch. Oh my god.
Freeze, you diseased rhinoceros pizzle.
The entire East to West Coast hood life drama like that happened during that era. Shout out to Prim's Hood Cinema, right? Now I want to make something clear. These shows and movies weren't black just because they had all black casts. That wasn't always the case. In Living Color, for example, first introduced us to Jim Carrey.
Mind if I give your place a little inspection?
A Different World was the first time we ever saw Marissa Tomei. The Parkers gave us Jenna Von Oy. She's not as big of a star. You may not even know who that is, but trust me.
I have no idea who that first white lady was, let alone who the second white lady is. All I know is Jim Carrey. That's the only person I knew in that whole shit. I ain't gonna lie.
There's a black man out there watching with a white wife who we don't play about somewhere who definitely understands that reference. While these shows were more likely to have black people behind the scenes, there is stuff like Coming to America, to me like the best movie from that era, that was actually directed by John Landis, who had also directed Trading Places and Beverly Hills Cop and nothing else. Don't Google him. All right? This is it.
That nigga probably made some bullshit. What the fuck you mean don't Google him, Unc? He probably made some trash ass shit, dude. God damn.
That's all that ever happened with him. So it wasn't specifically because everybody in the actor's trailer or the writer's room was black. No, what made this the golden era of black cinema, in my opinion, was that all of this media was very explicitly intended for and mostly only interested in the ears and eyes of a black audience. Anything else that came on top of that was a happy accident. And those happy accidents did happen. For example, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's a show that barely had any white people on screen ever. And while not the most blackity black of shows, considering it did follow an extremely wealthy family, it was still intensely focused and informed by black sensibilities for a black audience first. That said, it did manage to garner a large white audience.
It's not unusual.
Low-key off the latent star power of a then still emerging Will Smith. Another example like this at the tail end of this era was the Chappelle Show. Now, Chappelle's Show happens before Obama, which is gonna give away a plot twist at the end, but fine. Chappelle's humor was informed by blackness, but as I argued now years ago when Chappelle first started doing his whole trans jokes thing, there's always been a huge gap between, say, a Dave Chappelle and an Eddie Griffin or a prime Cat Williams, Bernie Mac, etc., in that Chappelle's comedy and humor was always somewhat tuned for a white audience. But even in saying that, Bernie Mac show is another example before Obama that was popular within white audience. Not as popular as Chappelle's show, of course, but still, it survived 5 seasons on Fox with a nominal white audience helping it stay alive. Shows like that were exceptions, but in general, before Barack Obama, black media was ostensibly black media, and that had the byproduct.
It's like black in a sense of, as he said, in a sense that it was looking for black people's attention. You know, like it was looking for them. It was looking for a mainly black audience. But what changed? What changed?
Of lessening the possibility of shit like this.
The black community is so proud of you right now. George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
Oh my god, that fucking white man is so fucking funny. If I was famous at that roast, nothing any white person on that stage would have been, and nothing any white person would have said on that stage would have been able to make me laugh at all. It's very hard, and I mean very hard, for me to find white people funny in the slightest. And that's when they're actually funny. So imagine somebody, a white dude, trying to be funny. Wait, he's actually not funny. Like, it's hard for me to laugh at a white dude who's actually funny. Imagine a white dude who's trying to be funny, but he's not funny. Like, I can't do it. My body won't let me do it. It literally won't.
Things like this did not really happen before Barack Obama, and this is because black creators rarely even attempted to seek crossover success in their work, meaning that they weren't purposely inviting white audiences, white eyeballs, and more importantly, white sensibilities into creative spaces with black people. So if you were white and you did like something like Sister Sister or The Fresh Prince, you did so in the same way that a black person might like Seinfeld or Friends. It was genuine cultural curiosity.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's a cool show that you watch. Doesn't mean you really relate to it. Like, I don't relate to none of the motherfuckers on Seinfeld. Like, I feel like in a more classical example, Modern Family, I don't relate to none of those motherfuckers on that show. There's no black people in that fucking show whatsoever. I don't relate to them at all. It's a funny show, though. They're funny. They're funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess in a more classical sense, Modern Family would fit that stereotype for me. Like, I don't really relate to nobody on that motherfucking show. I ain't gonna lie. In a more in a race way, right? Because they're like a white California family. You know, I don't really relate to those niggas. But they're funny, though. You know, funny is funny. No cap.
And the fact that the quality of the show was good enough that you would cross over. However, Obama marked a shift in perspective, or really in like branding and marketing. As I've talked about in other—
That nigga Barack cool to the bitch. Nigga dropped the mic. Nigga dropped the mic on national TV on you hoe ass niggas. Nigga said, bitch ass nigga. They cool to the bitch.
other content, along with the many other lasting effects on black culture, Obama was packaged as the harbinger of what people were calling a post-racial society. This was always a falsehood, and make sure y'all understand.
Which is so crazy that they would say that, because they were like, oh, we have a black president. We're no longer racist. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, we do have a black president. Shout out Barack. But, or we did. Now we have a dude who sues his own government for money, which is crazy. But like, we did have Barack, but that doesn't mean America stopped being racist. Like, that means nothing. Like, America literally just overturned the Voting Rights Act, or a part of the Voting Rights Act, to disenfranchise black voices. Barack Obama became president because of black voices. And that same country he used to help run as the chief executive is now disqualifying his people from being able to participate within the voting process in the local state level. But they're talking about but they're talking about America's no longer racist. America might always be racist forever. I don't see an America. I genuinely don't know if an America can exist that isn't racist. Respectfully, I don't know. I genuinely can't see it. This country will forever be like this forever because there's nothing. I cannot see any change. I don't see it getting better, bro. Honestly.
And that now is a falsehood in just the way that Obama himself was treated by his political peers.
Yeah, cause bro, they tried to cancel that nigga for wearing a tan suit. Fuck out of here, bro. They tried to cancel my nigga for wearing a tan suit. What? Donald Trump is a felon and a rapist, but they tried to cancel Barack for wearing a tan suit. Stop playing.
As literally the most powerful man in the free world, but was still being subjected to chicken and watermelon jokes as the president. But it did give people the false idea that race was no longer a social issue, that we had achieved a level of egalitarianism where we assumed white society would no longer look at blackness as something to be derided or destroyed. This was in part because Obama embodied the essence of black respectability and excellence. Not only was Obama well-spoken, clean-cut, charismatic, and unflappable in the face of overtly racist sentiment, but he was also very much discernibly black. Before Obama, typically images of black progress and elitism.
It's like what did I really fuck with about Obama is that he didn't try to like whitewash himself. Like at the end of the day, yeah, he spoke like proper, I guess, but he didn't try to. He let niggas know. Point blank. He let niggas know point blank he was black. He was black. His wife was black. His kids were black, and his Lambo was blue. Not playing, but like he let niggas know that like he's a black man. He's not America. He's not like America first. He's always like I'm a black American man. Point blank. Period. Like it's just how it goes.
And would try to distance themselves from blackness in some aesthetic sense or even beyond that. But Obama managed to marry these markers of black exceptionalism with undeniably black sensibilities. He married a black woman, a darker skinned black woman, and had black daughters with very black names. He listened to black music and released a playlist.
Nigga used to smoke weed, nigga. He used to smoke that. He was smoking that pack, nigga. Back when he was, you know what I'm saying, back at them ye old college day, and they was smoking that pack. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Of some of the hottest black music you would think of, and even sung Marvin Gaye. Was it Marvin Gaye that he sung at one of his, press conferences or whatever? Like, I'm so in love with you.
And he hitting that, and he hitting that shit too. He not even just singing it to sing it. He hitting that shit. Hold on, one more time, bro. Hold on.
So in love with you.
He hit that hoe. I ain't gonna. He actually no dick riding, bro. He actually like hit that note. No dick riding. That's tough. I ain't gonna lie.
Obama felt like a black man that you knew if you grew up around black people. And that was the same for many black elites up until that point. They always seemed to be
this creepy ass fuckface ass nigga. I hate this nigga, bro. I don't hate people, but I hate this nigga. I don't give a fuck. If I saw this nigga hanging off a ledge, I'd step on his fucking fingers, bro. No cap.
Distant from blackness, but Obama did not, which is ironic because Obama low-key is the least like culturally black man in that position that we could have possibly have had.
Don't interrupt.
Word to all the women he dated before Michelle Obama, but he was so charming and charismatic that we low-key didn't notice, and if we did notice, we didn't care. And it was that same charm and charisma that also activated a lot of white people to genuinely open themselves up to black pretty much everything.
I would have voted for Obama for a third term if I could.
In a way that many hadn't up until that point. The market of selling a black thing suddenly exploded because before you could only sell nigga shit to niggas, but now, like before,
wait, hold on, what the fuck?
Loaded, because before you can only sell nigga shit to niggas.
What the fuck are these? These must be like the Jordan 200s or some shit. What the fuck? Hey, no cap, nigga. I'm keeping 100. We only fuck with Jordans 1 through 14, and I'm saying 14 specifically because of them Ferraris. Them hoes clean as a bitch. I don't give a fuck. Nobody tell me them hoes clean as fuck. But we only fuck with 1 through 14. Everything else, trash. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is goddamn, nigga. This corporate bullshit. This is a corporate soulless shoe. This shit ain't got no soul. Literally, this shit soulless as fuck. Oh, the only thing I got is that jump man. If this shit didn't have no jump man, this would be like some regular ass, nasty ass Adidas. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, what the fuck?
But now, like before Obama, I never remembered the concept of white people coming to the cookout. And after Obama, it seemed like everybody white that smiled at a nigga was getting invited to a cookout. And I just want to take this moment to again remind everyone, because I feel like I haven't done it in a while.
For a white person to be invited to the cookout, they have to literally be so pro-black. It doesn't make sense. They have to be so pro-black that they have to literally think of themselves as like they have to feel guilty every time they think about Jim Crow. Like, they have to feel guilty every second of every moment they think about that shit for them to even be thought of coming to the cookout. Even the thought of them to come to the cookout, they have to literally feel guilty for every racial atrocity committed in the United States. I ain't gonna lie.
Cookout is closed. There is no cookout.
Yeah, but yeah, as Unc said, cause I'm a baby, nigga. As Unc said, there is no cookout. So you niggas aren't invited. Fuck y'all. Point blank period. That's it. Case closed.
No cookout until socialism. Just letting you know now. Figure that shit out.
And even then, fuck y'all niggas. Ain't no cookout no more anyways. Fuck y'all.
Out on y'all. So as a byproduct of this new market, this new way to make a lot more money off of black low-key anything, we see during and after Obama's presidency the rise of successful shows like Blackish, Insecure, Atlanta, movies like Dear.
Oh my god, I wish I could go back and finish watching. I'm gonna finish watching Atlanta. Like, that shit, I know that shit good as a bitch, and I low-key hate myself for not finishing it, but I'm gonna finish that motherfucker. I gotta watch that. I need to. And this nigga Scarf, bro, this that 2010 drip. This nigga got the scarf with the fedora on, like it's like this is normal. This is fucking gross. His fit is disgusting, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's disgusting, bro.
White People, Django Unchained, Beast of the Southern Wild. And I want to be clear, pretty much all of these are still good to great, except Blackish maybe. Blackish, I was with it for like a season or two. Then
May I help you?
Janine, it's Dre. From across the street. I've been your neighbor for 11 years.
Dre! Yes, of course. Hi. Yeah, I know you. Hi. Yes, of course. You are my unique neighbor, Dre. Bruce, honey, stand down.
And after that, I was like, all right, what is this? What are y'all doing? And I won't say that these creators were like purposefully or cynically targeting a white audience. Like, y'all know I love Issa Rae, and I think she's a model.
Let's not even get into grownish. Let's not even get into grownish. That shit messy as fuck for no reason, bro. I can't lie.
Of how to move within that industry, and I don't think she was making Insecure think.
I hope white women watch this.
That's a criticism I levy for another black woman mogul in the industry, but you know, we're gonna go easy for now. Even for a show like Blackish, which probably seemed like a good idea at the time, it probably didn't start out knowing that it had to attract a white audience. It just thought maybe, well, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I believe that actually. That show, anyway. But even as I'm critiquing Blackish, I can't act like being appealing to a white audience is not something that even I don't benefit from. Even though if you look through my video catalog, you'll predominantly see videos geared toward black audiences. I keep getting people saying
FD purposely goes after white viewers.
I'm sure it was white viewers.
You know, honestly, I feel like he attracts white viewers, obviously, because, you know, at the end of the day, content is content. People want to watch shit. But the shit he be making, I be watching his videos, but that is not for the ears of white people. That is for the ears of niggas. I ain't gonna lie. When he be talking, I be like, yo, if I was white, I would feel so uncomfortable. This, like, he is literally pulling their card every second. He is pulling the card of every misogynistic, racist white person every second on every single video he makes, damn near, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Were asking me for a 4-hour Tyler Perry video. You know how the white liberals love them some Medea.
Yes.
Who are you?
Yeah, my name is Medea, much to the damn DEA. You only get a first name because I have warrants. Thank you so much. Next question.
But the fact of the matter is, the same black area of Chicago that Obama is raising his family in is where my mom lives now. So there's innate features and experiences that I've had that make me appealing to a white audience from a baseline level. something that, say, the homie Little Bill does not have, along with numerous others, and that's just the nature of the beast. So even on some of my blackety black videos, you'll see comments saying,
as a white guy, such and such and such.
It is what it is.
I don't give no, honestly, I don't give no fucks. I don't give no fucks. Unless they're saying something constructive, I don't give no fucks.
That's the reality of being super successful in media as a black person. The same criticism of my audience can be made for Kendrick Lamar or even Tupac 30 years ago. I say this to say that in isolation, the idea that black art is being consumed by white people isn't negative in and of itself. Black artists can be successful.
Yeah, art, there's nothing wrong with people of any race liking or engaging with art from anyone of any race, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a great thing. It's actually wonderful. That sharing of cultures can be very beneficial to society. But there's going to be a big but after what he says, honestly. Hold on.
Making whatever they want to make. The whole goal of getting rid of racism is to allow black people self-determination, whether they want to make the most deeply rooted in black sensibilities, music or art they've ever wanted to make, or if they're like, man, what if Jackass but black, right? The problem, though, is that art doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists in a commercial marketplace. And once it became clear that the new meta for big bucks was to make black media that effectively balanced black approval with white interest, shows akin to what was seen during the 90s and early 2000s kind of just stopped happening as much. There was like Southside, which never got much fanfare, maybe The Shy. I think Black Lightning fits this mold a little bit, but even these shows don't quite feel the same as what I remember from the 80s and 90s. Now that may be my own nostalgia, but what's inarguable is that it is something that's happening at a lower rate or scale today. I will also say that part of this is how things are distributed, because like it feels like a lot of media doesn't look the same as it did 20, 30 years ago, partly just because you may not see it because it's on Apple or Tubi or Netflix or Peacock, and you may not own all them shits, and you can't even, some of y'all probably don't know what some of them shits is, but you know, there's a great black show on Peacock.
The fact that Tubi and Peacock are like, they used to be like bottom tier, D tier streaming. Now they're like B to A tier is so fucking crazy to me. Like, yo.
That, what was this called? Fight Night. Fight Night was literally the best thing I watched all last year, or maybe it was the year before that. I don't know. The best blacketiest black thing that came out probably in the last couple of years is Fight Night. A lot of y'all didn't see that. It is what it is. Also starring Kevin Hart, believe it or not.
I was just finna say, yeah, you like that shit and Kevin Hart was in it? Wow, what the fuck? Kevin must have put on a fucking clinic in that goddamn show. Goddamn, boy.
Kevin Hart, how does all of this explain him okaying numerous lynching George Floyd jokes?
I would have never okayed like this roast of Kevin Hart. If we're gonna let white people roast me, we need to set up some real rules. There needs to be rules and regulations. We can't let crackers like this say whatever the fuck they want because they stop being funny and just start saying dumbass racist shit. That's not funny. Like, if you're gonna be racist, be funny. But it's not funny. You're just talking about George Floyd not being able to breathe and him being in hell. Like, like what the fuck is... like, what the fuck was this nigga talking about? Like, what is this nigga saying, bro? Who even is this? Like, what the fuck? Oh, my God, bro.
At his roast. Why wouldn't Kevin Hart, who's mostly been a black-oriented media figure, not just leave people like Kill Tony and whoever Big J Okerson is off the guest list? Low-key, we still could have had a night of You So Black jokes if it was clearly an all-black ensemble cast. There still would have been some pearl clutching, but nothing nearly as uncomfortable to watch as known Trump voters making jokes about George Floyd. This is also a byproduct of that mythical post-racial reality that has been going on allegedly since Obama was president. A reality where these types of jokes are okay because they are no longer harmful. As such, we're seeing an unnatural blending, or really I should say invasion of white sensibilities into black spaces. And we're seeing this not just in comedy, but in hip hop, in R&B, in TikTok and social media stuff to begin with. Understand the concept of roasting, joning, playing the dozens, etc. amongst black people, that's always been a thing. And if you've ever been in a roasting session with black people,
Man, bruh, niggas will talk so much shit, bruh. Oh my god, man. You gotta be quick with it too, cause if you sit there and think about a joke to say, they're gonna think you fucking they're gonna start filleting your ass, just cooking you, nigga. Like, but that shit suck, bro. That shit so ass. I remember one time, something changed my brain chemistry in high school. It was this nigga. He used to play basketball, right? His name was. They called him the Big O. That nigga, he like a D2 basketball player now, but or I don't know what he I don't know if he's D2 now. I don't know, but still he like played college basketball and shit. But this was back in high school, so he was a high school player for like the high school I went to in Georgia. But that nigga said I don't even roast niggas. If they start roasting, I just punch them in the face. I'm like, what the fuck? Thinking back, I'm like, what the fuck, nigga, crazy as hell. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, low key, I think that's the only way you can low key get the fuck away from the roasting sessions. Cause if a nigga talk crazy to you and you just hit him in his shit, and mind you, he's big as fuck. Like I'm 6'5". At that point in high school, I'm probably like 6'3", right? I'm like probably a little bit smaller. That nigga like damn near 6'6", 6'6", 6'7", something. I just punch a nigga in his shit, and I'm like, low key, he's right. That's like a perfect way to end any roast. Just punch him in his shit. Just hit him right in his shit. Bow! Just, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, man, I'm not mad at him for it. Because sometimes this shit get excessive. Niggas don't know how to stop. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know, that shit can get ugly, but you also know you can get smacked if you say the wrong.
That's what I'm saying. That shit, it gets to a point. It's like, bro, like niggas don't want to chill. niggas will put their fucking hands on you. Keep playing with a nigga like that. I ain't gonna lie, no cap.
And from my perspective,
right, nigga Chris Rock looks stupid as fuck. Nigga just took that slap to the face about oh wow. Nigga talking about some, nigga like a cartoon character talking about some, oh wow, he just slapped the shit out of me, face side.
Those types of lines have always been different for white people. White comedians being edgy has been a thing forever. I also talk about this in the Dave Chappelle video, but in a cool, like revolutionary way also. Like there's always been comedians like Lenny Bruce or George Carlin who pushed boundaries and were edgy, but partially that was because they were challenged.
George Carlin was edgy because he challenged the status quo in a way that made sense and didn't really wasn't insulting to the people that the status quo hurt. That's why his edginess was cool, because his edginess attacked the status quo in a way that didn't hurt the people who were negatively affected by it, right? But when these niggas make edgy ass jokes, it's just like, huh, they fucking put their knee on George's neck and he couldn't fucking breathe. That's why he's in hell looking up at us right now. Trash. Terrible. Trash. Not good. Joke weak. I'm funnier than you, bitch. I could write a better comedy set than you, bitch ass nigga. And I don't write comedy, pussy. Weak ass fucking jokes. Man, get this nigga the fuck up out of here, man.
Challenging power. They were challenging the establishment and punching up at institutions in their jokes, not making fun of underdogs, punching down, taking the low-hanging fruit and saying things that maybe some can find humorous, but it's only humorous because it's not you. This changed with people like Andrew Dice Clay. Clay begets Dennis Leary. Leary begets the likes of Bill Burr or Daniel Tosh or Dane Cook. But even those guys had more shame and were funnier than the likes of...
Bill Burr is actually funny. Forgive my French, but I think Bill Burr is actually kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Honestly. Bill Burr has said questionable shit sometimes, but he's actually funny. I'm not gonna lie. But this nigga is fucking stupid. I don't know what the fuck killed Tony. Yeah, you should get killed. These weak ass fucking jokes.
Tony, whose only joke seems to be just saying mean or horrible things with a straight face. And that's important to point out because edgy humor going over poorly, that's a skill issue. It's the fact that the jokes weren't really funny. It's the joke in and of itself was,
isn't this a horrible thing that I'm saying?
I actually don't hate Shane Gillis all that much. Gillis is problematic and all of that, but he made me laugh a couple times during
that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, if the edginess of the joke is the joke is trash. if the edginess of the joke is the joke is shit. Like, it's so distasteful. If the joke is distasteful, it's distasteful no matter how edgy you think you are, bruh. God damn, like, they'll say the weakest, wackest shit and then be mad nobody laughed. Fuck you, bro. That shit is trash.
I didn't watch all of the shit, but the shit I saw with Shane Gillis was kind of funny. The same can be said about a Bill Burr who has had racial humor constantly in his career with minimal pushback. And we can't forget the legendary blackface performance of Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. And I can't believe I just said legendary blackface performance, but we all know Tropic Thunder is a hood classic because partly of that performance. The response the roast is getting is explicitly a product of mean-spirited, lazy, racial shock humor, not because people were unable to take a joke. It is impossible to survive being black without being able to take a joke. This entire situation, you can't do anything but laugh. It's because things that white people consider funny because of their social position ain't all that funny to us under most circumstances. It's just not. But those are the risks and challenges you have to engage with if you are a Kevin Hart and you want access to those white dollars. You want buy-in from those white institutions to make whatever slop Kevin Hart is gonna make next when he jumps up on our screen. Except for, again, Fight Night. That shit was amazing. There was a time
Bro, nigga, do I gotta watch Fight Night? Cause what? We called the shit he made slop. Except Fight Night. What is so special about Fight Night? What's so special about that movie? That even though Kevin Hart is in it, it's amazing? What? I'm contemplating, bro. I gotta watch that shit. Hold on, man.
where a studio producer would come to a black creator and say, hey, we like what you're doing. We just need a white character or a plot line to help the show or movie appeal to white audiences. But now people like Kevin Hart and other black creators are building the entirety of what they're doing on the principle that, yes, we can have this really cool, you know, surrealist show like Atlanta, but we got to make sure it has enough surreality and doesn't dig too much into certain black things to have a white audience appreciate it. I haven't finished the show Atlanta. Like season 6, I didn't bother to watch because season 5 with those random let's teach white people about racism episodes, I was all off that shit. I'm sorry. It did not entertain me. But here is the twist. As I mentioned in my Sinners video last year, which is the best video I made last year, please go watch it. Until black people are truly liberated, all black media, even before Obama, exists in that captured state. Yes, Chappelle's show started before Obama for a reason. That's because the network that Chappelle's show was on, which is Comedy Central, which is also where the roast series was first born, knew a Dave Chappelle and knew that Dave Chappelle was going to be okay for green lighting for that position, even if it seemed like for a while Chappelle was one of those black people who told, you know, was a great truth teller and all the shit that niggas been saying about Chappelle for years. As he's become more and more disappointing, I'm happy it seems like people are starting to catch on now. But as I alluded to earlier and again pointed out in that video, Chappelle has always shown himself amenable to white sensibilities and never was down with black media or black comedy circles in a way other black comedians were. I'm not saying he was anti-black or that he was apart from blackness completely, but Chappelle became a professional comedian when he was 17, 18 years old, not in the Chitlin circuit, but in the New York and LA markets. That is not something a regular black dude gets to do. And it makes sense that the people that pick up Chappelle's legacy are Key and Peele and now maybe Josh Johnson a generation later. All of these folks are amenable to white sensibilities. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't like them. I'm just saying there's a gap between them and what like Def Comedy Jam was once upon a time. There's no such thing as entertainment, no such thing as black media that exists solely for our enrichment. It is all for extraction and maintenance of empire, even if you like it, even if it feels like something that's meaningful to you, because it might be, but you always have to keep that third eye open on what it's actually doing before or after Obama existed. So while it's disappointing, it doesn't surprise me that Dave Chappelle is trying to act like he didn't know what he was doing with his trans jokes and going to form for Saudi Arabia last year. It's sad and disappointing that Boots Riley is taking blood money to...
What the fuck, bro? Look at his goddamn hat. And look at the motherfucking sideburns on this nigga. What the fuck? Bro, you like he belong in the 1800s. He got the Cam Newton hat on with the sideburns. Is this a Cam Newton cosplay? What is this, bro? What the fuck?
Make his movies that the most provocative black filmmaker of the last decade plus had to take dirty money to get a film made. It's all a part of a media apparatus that can only provide a simulation of liberation, but never the real thing. And we have to keep that in mind, even as you're watching me. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy or grow from media that we have, or that people aren't trying their best to push boundaries when given the chance. And with that in mind, I'm extremely proud to announce my first large-scale Nebula exclusive project coming this summer.
Oh man, shout out Nebula and all that and more.
Realized that big weirdos were kind of the people like to watch the most on social media. It was a really interesting, funny, and also dark video that I was super proud of. It's literally the 10th most viewed video on this channel, and I didn't make shit off of that video. I didn't make a goddamn thing. Why? Because YouTube will not let you monetize videos about sex. You can't even barely take sponsorships from toy companies most of the time, if you get my drift, because YouTube has really rigid rules around certain things that they deem advertiser unfriendly. And that's frustrating because, believe it or not, my area of study is in gender and sexuality, and I've done a bunch of research on the sociological nature of porn and sex work that's kind of just been unavailable for me to talk about much on YouTube. My black man sexuality video is also demonetized. I had to fight to get my male desirability video monetized, and there's been more than a few times where I've had to change things in videos that are even remotely sexual in my content to make sure that a nigga can get paid. So I decided way back from that B Pumper video that whenever I did a video about this industry, it would only be on Nebula, because I didn't want to spend days and weeks fighting YouTube over whether or not I can stop saying.
Man, yo, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he gets what he wants out of, you know, working with Nebula. I feel like he definitely would. With that being said, make sure you like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. This has been a wonderful video because Kevin Hart is a symptom. And with that being said, I'm going to catch y'all next one. We out.